Welcome to this week's Q&A. We have a question today from one of our viewers in San Francisco, and it's something that we get asked about, I guess, time and again. So it's a very relevant question and pertinent to many people. The question was, this viewer asked, was, look, should I look at investing in commercial property in Australia rather than in residential property? And you know, the question always then comes back to, well, okay, why do you ask that question? And generally speaking, it's because people perceive that they can get a higher yield on that commercial property investment than on the residential one. And that's often the case. And as with most things, there's a reason for that. And in these instances, quite often, perhaps residential property may be the more boring option to adopt. However, it may also be one that suits a lot of Australian expat clients of ours around the world in the best manner, because whilst they're both property assets, they have really different investment characteristics, and therefore the banks, the lenders, also treat them very differently. So typically banks will lend our clients up to 85% of the value of the residential property with no mortgage insurance. And with commercial property, it can vary between, say, 60 and 70%. But then there are also many other provisos that come into this in relation to, you know, the actual characteristics of the commercial asset. And we have to remember that commercial real estate isn't some kind of vanilla flavoured being. You know, it's broken up into office, into retail, into warehouse. So all of these different subcategories are performing differently, and certainly with US 10-year Treasury yields last week, you know, heading towards 4.9%, when that's considered to be a global risk-free rate of return, certain areas in commercial property are going to be fairly challenged at the moment, particularly in, say, office and retail. So hence the banks also know this, and you know, that's all part of the same question. So it comes back to quite often, you know, people who are asking these questions simply don't have the capacity even to look at a quality commercial asset to buy, because they may need, you know, $10 or more million to do so, and they're not in a position to do that. So quite often you have to be careful not to get your ambitions mixed up with your capabilities. And it's always then very important to firstly ascertain, you know, what is it that you can actually do. So best to speak to someone, and we're certainly able to assist people with this, and say, well, look, you know, ask the bank, how much can I borrow for a residential property investment in Australia, and how much could I borrow for a commercial one? So that's a great starting point. Now look, if you found this interesting, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click like. And if you have any questions yourselves about any of these matters, then don't hesitate to reach out, email us or call us, and we'll have somebody contact you about your own personal set of circumstances. I'm Andrew Unterweger, and I'll see you at next week's Q&A.